Hey, what is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we're going to be continuing looking at the expanded format, and we're going to be looking today at a Zoroark Golisopod deck that my buddy Azul used recently on his stream to go 28-2 in a best of 30 set, where he just played 30 games and saw how many games he could win with the deck. He went 28-2, so that's a really good record. I think he also played it at a League Cup this past weekend where he finished second. So this is his list. It's over on his Twitter. I'll leave a link to it in the description of the video, of course. But we're going to go ahead and hop in and see what this deck is all about. And it's been a deck that has been around ever since Tord took it to a first place finish at the European International Championships, and has always been on everyone's radar. But this is the first time we're kind of seeing it translated over to the expanded format. And we're going to see how it fares in that format. And I do believe John Ng got top 16 at San Jose with a Zoroark Golisopod deck, but we're going to go ahead and jump in here and take a look at this deck, starting off with, of course, Golisopod-GX himself, the 210 HP Grass-type Stage 1 Pokemon with that first impression attack, 30 damage. If this Pokemon was on the bench and became your active Pokemon this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. So we play lots of cards that let us get that switch effect from the bench to the active. We've got Acerolas, we've got the Guzmas, we've got Tapu Koko with that free retreat, and of course we also have the Wimpod here with the Wimp Out ability during your first turn. If this during your first turn, this Pokemon has no retreat cost, so starting with Wimpod is great. We can just retreat into Tapu Koko, which has free retreat, which gives us a higher odds of getting that turn to first impression off. We've also got Armor Press here, 100 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks, so that's definitely really solid as well. And Crossing Cut GX, 150 damage. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and look at the rest of the deck, what else we're working with here. It is a Zoropod deck. We've got a 3-2 line of the pod part of that, but we also have a 4-4-1 Zoroark-GX line, and the one being the Foul Play Zoroark, which we'll talk about in a sec, but we're going to start here with Zoroark-GX. You guys know this guy. You love him, you hate him, whatever you want to say. 210 HP, Stage 1 Dark type with that trade ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 more cards, and then Riotous Beating. This attack does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play, so just lets us build up that damage, and we can do even more damage for sure. We've also got 4 of the Zorua with Paralyzing Gaze, the best Zorua in the expanded format that you could be playing, and then 1 Zoroark here with that Foul Play attack. Choose one of the defending Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. This is going to be good against any of those Lycanroc decks. We can copy their Dangerous Rogue, all kinds of different options we have as well with Foul Play, and against other Zoroark decks we can copy their Riotous Beating to attack with a 1 Prizer. There's just lots of good options here. We already talked about the Tapu Koko. We also have the 1 Oricorio here for the Night March matchup, and Vespiquen, and it's also just like Pokemon just end up in the discard pile throughout the course of the game, so there's always a chance that Supernatural Dance can just come in and do a lot of damage for us at some point. So for each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. And then we also have Sudowoodo here with that Road Block ability. Your opponent can't have more than 4 benched Pokemon. If they have 5 or more benched Pokemon, they discard benched Pokemon until they have 4 Pokemon on the bench. And then rounding things out, of course, 3 copies of Tapu Lele-GX, just helping us get that turn 1 Brigette, and it lets us fetch supporters out of the deck at any point. So we'll continue on here looking at the rest of the cards. 1 copy of Computer Search lets us just get whatever we want out of the deck. We've also got 2 Evosoda, helping us get those Stage 1 Pokemon in play, like the Zoroark-GX and the Golisopod. 1 Field Blower just to manage our opponent's tools on their side of the field. We can also get rid of things like Parallel City, because that could be annoying for us to deal with. 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, great in all these Zoroark decks because we're going to be trading a lot. We can draw into these and just get back resources from the discard pile. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher to recycle any of our Pokemon that get discarded early on. 4 Ultra Ball, just consistency stuff there. Same thing with 4 via Seeker, letting us reuse any of our supporters from the discard pile. We got a whole row of supporters here to run through. We've got 3 copies of Acerola, letting us pick up one of our Pokemon with damage counters on it and putting all the cards attached to it into our hand. Solid for those Golisopods, of course. We've got 2 copies of Brigette here, letting us get that turn 1 Brigette, benching 3 Pokemon to set up our evolutions. 1 copy of Colress, really solid draw supporter, of course, in the expanded format. We've got Ghetsis, which can be a really good disruption option. It's good against decks like Wailord and Sableye that are running around, that are still popular. Really good against things like Gyarados and Night March as well. We've got 2 copies of Guzma, just giving us another switch effect. 1 copy of Hex Maniac, another great disruption supporter, just a really good card to include. And then 2 copies of N and 2 copies of Professor Sycamore to round out, there we go, the draw supporters. And we've got 2 choice bands just to increase our damage. Lets us do more damage with Zoroark, lets us do more damage with Golisopod. And then to round things out, we've got 4 double Colorless energy and 3 Grass Energy. And that's the list, guys. So we're going to go ahead and hop on over to the ladder and see if we can't get a couple of wins in today's video. I played a couple of games before I started recording, and the deck ran pretty smooth, so I'm excited to try it out. And as always, guys, if you enjoy these videos, definitely please be sure to leave a like down below. Helps me out a ton and lets me know that you're enjoying seeing these videos. So we see a Water Dark deck. This could be like Zoroark Greninja and expanded. That would be interesting. We do win the flip, which is great. And you will have to excuse me, guys. I am still feeling a little bit under the weather of where I have been feeling. So we'll go ahead and start Wimpod. We won't bench the other one because there's a chance we're going to want to Ultra Ball that away. Okay, looks like Wailord. I don't know why I thought it was Zoroark Greninja before thinking of Wailord, so it's Wailord, which is fine with us. We've got the Golisopod, of course, gonna hit for weakness on those Wailords. Say yes to the rest. Get our Golisopod, go ahead. Wailord. Alright, so I kind of just want to Ultra Ball for the Koko and retreat to that. Get rid of Colress. Do we ever need more than 1 Golisopod, really? I don't think so. Yeah, we'll get rid of Colress. We'll get rid of Wimpod. We'll go get that Koko. We do have the other one in the deck if we ever want it. And we prized our other Golisopod anyway. Let's see how many choice bands we have. That's going to be important. We've got 2 in the deck. So we'll go ahead and bench the Tapu Koko. We'll retreat. And I don't want to attach because of Plumeria. Do I want to bench Zorua to give us that extra dig next turn for the choice band? I think that is okay. I think generally you don't want to always bench the Zorua because, you know, it can get, or like Zoroark can eventually get Lysander brought up, and that's an issue for sure, but we'll see what my opponent brings down with Fan Club. Probably going to be a Hoopa and a Wishy-Washy, actually. Okay, so they are playing Wishy-Washy, which is not weak to grass, so we got to deal with that. Lots of Wailords have cut their Wishy-Washies, so that is something to consider. So we'll go Golisopod. We can actually end the Wishy-Washy out of my opponent's hand, because I don't really want to discard double Colorless energy right now. So I think we can go Lele for N. And we'll see if we can find that, see if we can find that choice band or not. There we do, find it right away. We go ahead and can discard Foul Play. Ooh, we could actually Foul Play copy Wishy-Washy's GX attack. We're going to keep Foul Play around. We can get rid of Acerola. They're never going to damage us, so that's fine. We could Ultra Ball down another Zorua. I'm really kind of liking this Foul Play option, though. So we go Choice Bands. We'll hold the Ultra Ball for now. We have Ultra Ball. Oh, I should have checked if Hex was in the deck. Because if not, then we'll also need Zoroark to hit the Hoopa. They're just going to go ahead with a Team Rocket's Handiwork. Flip 1 heads, 1 tails, get rid of a Puzzle and a Zorua. And let's see if they drew into another benched Pokemon. They're going to Parallel City. Oh, they did not. If Hex Maniac is in the deck, we will just win the game right here. So get rid of Brigette Oricorio, Lele, and Hex is in the deck indeed. So quick first game here against Wailord. The Wishy-Washy is definitely scary, but would have ended up being okay, I think. Luckily, we do have that DCE in hand, so we can just go Crossing Cut GX and bring out Tapu Koko. Of course, that Scoundrel Guard ability makes it so we have to, you know, get rid of that ability in order to use our, in order to damage the Hoopa, I should say. But we were able to do that, so we will get a W real fast against a Wailord in today's first game. But we'll see if we can grab another. And, yeah, it's interesting to me that he didn't bench the Wishy-Washy. I'm not sure what the thought process was there, but I'm not sure. Mick Pizzle here playing a Dark Lightning Psychic deck. Some sort of... I'm just going to assume some sort of Zoroark deck. Lightning type could be... Tapu Koko promo, I guess? I don't know, we'll see. Interesting. But my opponent will start things off. Oh, it could be like a Necrozma. Oh, it's gonna be like Student Loans, I bet. The spread deck. So we'll see what happens. We have Acerolas, which are great against this. And we see Koko start. Espeon comes down. And Trainer's Mail. And we do have a turn 2 Zoroark Guzma option, so if he only gets down like one Duskull, we can just knock it out. But let's see if he even has anything. We haven't seen it yet. Okay, Sycamore gets rid of a Honchkrow, so it's Honchkrow Koko. So maybe not gonna be Duskull. We'll see what he gets with this Nest Ball. A Sneasel, okay. Another Nest Ball comes out. Excuse me, guys. Gets another Sneasel. And Honchkrow, I know Weavile has 90. Honchkrow has 110. So we do need a full bench. I don't want to bench a ton of stuff. 10 more damage for each damage counter on all of your opponent's Pokemon. We do need to bench some things, though. We'll definitely get this guy. Sudowoodo seems nice. He's got a bench of 4. That's a lot of stuff on the bench, though. We'll just go this route. I think this should be okay. We'll go Wimp out into Tapu Koko. And we'll hold the energy because, you know, he could Guzma or something, but we'll see what happens. Sorry, he could Enhanced Hammer or something. And we do just see a DCE come down. Rescue Stretcher will bring back the Honchkrow. Go ahead and get that evolution. So we probably just need to knock the Koko out. If we find a Grass Energy, we can knock it out with Golisopod. We have Ultra Ball for another Pokemon minimum, so we can do that as well. Rule of Evil will also damage Wimpod. And damages Sudowoodo. He does have Enhanced Hammer in the deck. Definitely knew that was coming. So good thing we didn't attach that energy turn 1. Po-Town. That is annoying, because now we're going to have to evolve under Po-Town, unless we top deck our Field Blower. Okay. So we can just knock out the active. We can also Ultra Ball Colress. That puts another Pokemon in play with an ability. He's already going to knock out this Wimpod unless we find Golisopod this turn. I think we're going to go Colress. Just draw a ton of cards. Ghetsis is also pretty good against this deck. He's got 2 Sycamore in his discard pile. Hex Maniac is also really good because it turns off abilities so that Rule of Evil can't really do much. And this thing's only hitting... Ooh, maybe we should just Hex him. I guess I should have traded before that, though. Hex seems good because then we don't have abilities, so that way Weavile can't do anything to us. But I think I still want to Colress this turn. No, we need to Hex, honestly. How many puzzles do I have in here? I don't really want to trade away puzzles. Oh, did I prize 3? I prized 3 Puzzle of Time. Okay. So I guess we could trade away 1. Well, no, we might take one out of the prizes here, so we're probably not going to do that. We'll go Hex. We do have to evolve under the Po-Town. And we'll go Hex, Riotous Beating. And we'll see if we can keep up this Hex Maniac chain. Oh, we don't get a puzzle out of the prizes, unfortunately. That's right, isn't it? Because this attack does 60 damage to each Pokemon that has an ability, and then Hex Maniac says, until each end of the turn, each Pokemon has no abilities. He is going to go ahead and attach to Weavile, though. I hope he doesn't realize that and he attacks. Because we don't have any abilities. Yes! Yes! It works! Okay, great. So Hex... We'll give him the gasp. He probably doesn't realize it either. I don't want to trade any of these cards. I want to have this to go get Golisopod so this doesn't die. I don't want to trade away the N because I want to play some sort of supporter. But I guess inning his hand wouldn't be the worst thing. He has to find Weavile plus energy. Let's go ahead and Evosoda. I guess we can trade away the puzzle since we're going to most likely be inning. But I guess we save it for the other side of the in. The trade, I mean. So we get Ultra Ball. We can go Ultra Ball away Sycamore Lele for a Zoroark. Trade away the Acerola. And we gotta find that DCE here. We'll see if we hit it. Come on now. We do not. So that's really unfortunate, because now he's going to get a ton of damage in play, and Honchkrow is going to do a lot. So Choice Band is going to come onto the Honchkrow. This also means that he can Espeon Devolve KO both Zoroarks after this Rule of Evil. Okay, Guzma, we can Hex this turn, so let's trade 1. trade Guzma. We got DCE, so I think we're going to go Acerola. For sure. Not being able to Hex is okay. I mean, I would have liked to have, but getting rid of the damage was definitely more valuable. And we're likely going to lose Zoroark here to a Honchkrow, but that's okay. It already had 110 damage on it. Because right now we have 110, 190, 210. Like, we got a ton of damage counters in play. Looks like he sends up SP on those, so we might just have to devolve. Gonna special charge back 2 DCEs and Sycamore. He might be trying to find... Okay, yeah, he was just trying to find the DC, so he might retreat off this energy from the Espeon. Yeah. And Raven's Claw, 330 damage, but that also gets rid of a ton of his damage in play. And he doesn't have a replacement Murkrow on the bench. So we'll go ahead and do this. We do have to take damage. We'll trade the Ghetsis. We do get a replacement Zorua. And we just need any energy here. So we'll go Colress. Oh, we got a DCE. I thought we weren't going to get an energy. I was like, no, are you kidding me? No, no. But we do find an energy. So we'll just go retreat. And we'll ride to speeding. We could have maybe attached choice bands just to go ahead and get them in play. We do get a Puzzle of Time piece, which is excellent, since we had 3 in our last 4 prizes. Rescue Stretcher. Probably going to grab back Weavile, but he could bring back a Honchkrow line maybe and shuffle it into the deck. He's going to bring back a Weavile, a Murkrow, and a Tapu Koko. Okay. Evosoda, going to get that Weavile in play. Energy Lotto, going to be digging for that energy card. Does find himself an energy, so Rule of Evil can come in this turn. We have Acerola options. We have double puzzle if he gets rid of our energy, but he's gonna end us, so we'll have to find them on the other side of the end. And we do get one puzzle. We've got an end. So we can trade away the Golisopod. Enhanced Hammer is unfortunate. Ends himself to 4. Finds Enhanced Hammer. Does take a prize on Pseudo. Okay, Rescue Stretcher. We can use that to get back Zoroark. We'll trade away the Golisopod first. We get an energy. So we can Computer Search in Grass for double puzzle for... No, that's... Anyhim is good as well, but we want to Acerola. Like, we have to Acerola. So we can stretch her back. We can stretch her back Zoroark, trade away the N, and then we can potentially computer search those two cards, I guess. So we'll trade in. And we get via Seeker, so that's good. Via Seeker First Impression seems solid to me. We get Field Blower, which we'll save for the next turn, I think. Bring up all that damage. We could have healed off the Lele, but we needed to get a switch going. And we'll go First Impression. I think we might have just if we had gone with just Golisopods and Kokos, if we knew more about our opponent's deck, that would have been fine because you know, we only have abilities on the little guy, and he seems like he's definitely more focused on the Weavile than on the Honchkrow and Koko, but computer search for my opponents, so they have options. Gets rid of a Potown and a Honchkrow. What was the first card they played? Trader's Mail? No, Energy Lotto. So maybe we could have Ghetsis that turn and just really stuck him with nothing, but we needed to switch to get Zoroark out of the active, and we were down 3 DCEs, so... And now this turn, okay, so he does have DCE. Let's see what this is. Via Seeker. Gonna likely just go Sycamore. Colress, actually. Does he not have a Sycamore down there? Sycamore would give him more cards. I wonder why he chose Colress over Sycamore. He would have drawn one more card with Sycamore. But he does get a Honchkrow. But we're at the point now we just need 2 knockouts, and if my opponent doesn't take a knockout this turn, and we can take knockouts both of our following turns, we will be good to go. A third Nest Ball comes out. Another Koko comes down, and onto our turn. So let's Blower. Definitely want this guy out. I guess we could just go double puzzle Guzma Sneasel for Guzma DCE. So that we have a DCE for Zoroark next turn, or DCE for Crossing Cut. I guess we should have traded first, but I kind of don't want to trade the Acerola because it does give us an option to get Golisopod out of the active. But yeah, my opponent's just going to concede. I guess we should have traded first, but ended up not mattering, and we got another win. So we will, let's see, we've been going for about 29 minutes. We'll go ahead and grab another game in today's video. 3-game video, that's what I'm talking about. Played against 2 kind of weird decks. Maybe we can just hit another Zoroark variant of some sort now. And looks like it's going to be a Bama Gambler here playing a Dark Grass deck, which I can only assume is going to be the Zoropod Mirror. So we'll see how this goes. So we start Lele, which is not good, but we have Brigette in hand, which is good. And double puzzle. This is like actually really not a great hand. And he starts Koko, the best starter. So let's see what Lele finds. I would assume a Brigette. I would love it if they Ghetsis us. Oh, if he Ghetsis us, that would be just amazing. Because this is just such a weird hand. We're gonna Sycamore away 2 Puzzle of Time. I guess we can maybe make something work though. We'll just go. We'll play it by ear. We'll see. Oh, he's gonna have to in us. Did he prize 2 Brigettes? Maybe he only plays 1. Oh man. Gonna get rid of an Acerola and a Hex. I think almost if you see you don't have your 2 Brigettes, you almost want to either Hex or Ghetsis, honestly. But no, he's gonna go for the in. Does attach a DCE. And we'll see what we get here on this end. We find Golisopod, Tapu Lele, and a couple Sycamores. So that's a little better. And we can now go Lele, Wonder Tag. We can find Brigette. We know it's in the deck because we had it in our first hand. And here I guess we'll just go Wimpod double Zorua. We prize Sudowoodo. So Brigette, we'll go Zorua, Wimpod. Prize Zoroark-GX as well. And next turn we can maybe Guzma something. Oh, I should have checked if our 3rd Lele was in the deck to make sure it was, but we'll see. I will go ahead and attach, and we'll just go ahead and click done. If he has Zoroark, Guzma, and knocks out Wimpod, so be it. He was probably going to target the Wimpod anyway, so go ahead and attach the Grass Energy. And there we see a Grass Energy on his side. And his own Golisopod getting that turn to first impression. We actually might just Acerola Lele if he does hit it. I imagine he would hit it. But my opponent's still working through what all options he has. Looks like we are just going to see the first impression likely. Ooh, a Hex Maniac. That is a little unfortunate. Shuts off some of our options. Definitely want this. And I guess we just have to Sycamore now. So we need to find one of our energies to retreat. When we do find energy, we get another Zorua down. So I think we will just go ahead and retreat and get that first impression. Go ahead and do 150. And next turn we can armor press even. We'll see if he has a switch effect option. We don't have a replacement Wimpod down. I guess we could have... Maybe we should have benched Wimpod instead of Zorua, actually. But I was kind of expecting to just go DCE. Armor Press... no, probably should have benched Wimpod. Because then we can go Computer Search for Acerola and just chain the Golisopods. Well, we don't have Koko down, so that actually doesn't work. So never mind. We still might Computer Search for Acerola and just attack with Zoroark, actually. So Ultra Ball means they will find Lele and a supporter most likely. Gonna get rid of Foul Play Zoroark. Actually just gonna go get the one Zoroark-GX. Maybe trading away their one card hand, or this is like a Sycamore. So be a Seeker. And maybe gonna go for that N. Yep. So that means this Golisopod does not get to go to the bench unless he finds Floatstone. I would be surprised if he played Floatstone, since lots of people are going based off of Azul's list, and Azul doesn't play Floatstone. Although this guy does play Enhanced Hammer. So there, he does get the armor press, or sorry, the crossing cut. So it does find a way to switch. And gets rid of a second enhanced hammer, so won't get to use those. And a puzzle, right? No, rescue stretcher, sorry. And what did he get? A Zorua. So 2 enhanced hammers down. And he is going to go Crossing Cut GX, probably into Koko. Sure enough. So I really want to find like DCE Acerola this turn. So we go Ultra Ball away this and Lele, and we trade the Wimpod. We just get Zoroark. 3 DCEs, 2 Acerolas. We also could find Guzma. Acerola would be better though. So trade. I think Wimpod is a little better to trade than Koko. We do find Acerola. We need to find DCE still. Trade away Ghetsis. Did not get there. We can foul play Flying Flip, but no, we can't even do that, I guess. We can Paralyze and Gaze, try to lock this up. And so this just goes back to me, I kind of like messed up by not benching a second Wimpod. And now we're kind of stuck. So I actually think, based on where we are, yeah, this definitely should have been a Wimpod, and then we would be fine right here. We can go for the Paralyzing Gaze. Worst case scenario, we lose a Zorua, which isn't great. So we'll definitely go Zorua. We'll definitely go ahead and bench the Wimpod. And we'll go Paralyzing Gaze. If we can lock this thing up, that would be great. And we do get heads, so we force him to find a Guzma this turn if he wants to attack. But our bench does get a little clogged up just because we started Lele. Starting non-Zorua, non-Wimpod is just really kind of unfortunate. Acerola is going to pick up the Golisopod, so we did end up successfully buying a turn. And then now this turn, if we can find DCE Guzma, we can take out his only Wimpod. Or Grass Energy Guzma. So let's go trade. Trade. We could Acerola the Lele. And I kind of like that. Just get that thing off the bench. But we'll go trade first. We find DCE. So we can knock out the active. Yeah, let's go ahead, Acerola. I don't really want to trade anything else, though. This is the thing that's like kind of awkward. I guess we trade the Lele. So that's okay. Yeah, we'll go trade Lele. And then we can Zoroark, trade Hex, and we get a Guzma, so that's good for next turn. And we can go Riotous Beating. A little awkward with a Grass and a DCE onto Zoroark, but take the first knockout, have no damage in play. And my opponent doesn't have their Wimpod anymore. And we can just chain the Acerolas here, get Acerola to Golisopod to go First Impression. So he gets another DCE down via Seeker. I was really tempted to Ghetsis that turn, but I don't think that was ever correct, so fine with what we did, of course. And we get more, well, lots of items there. And we see Zorua, we see Wimpod. And this really does just come down to a war of attrition. Lots of Acerola-ing, lots of just picking stuff up. And trade. Gets rid of an N. And he does have his replacement Wimpod, which is great, but we took out his Koko, which, getting rid of that takes away a lot of his options. We see Puzzle of Time. Let's see if it's 1 or 2. Gonna get back double Acerola. So he's saying, I'm ready to just pick stuff up. Are you ready to pick stuff up? And on to our turn. Okay, so we get Guzma, which is solid. So if we can Guzma knock something out, that's pretty solid. Since he double puzzled for double Acerola. I guess he didn't get double via Seeker because he doesn't want to get Ghetsis. Let's go ahead and trade Field Blower. And trade Evosoda. Trade Rescue Stretcher. I want to find an energy. Trade Rescue Stretcher. Did not get there. We can still Guzma knock out Zorua, but then we're just going to get return KO'd, so that's pretty poor. We can Acerola, but we know he's just going to pick everything up. He's down all 4 puzzles, though, and we haven't played any, so that's solid. I think we just have to Acerola. Unfortunately, like, we know what he's gonna do. But this does let us get down another Wimpod, I guess. And do we attack with Zoroark, or do we attack with Golisopod? I think it's fine. Since we benched Wimpod, I think we attack with Golisopod. Choice Band won't matter because he's gonna Acerola this turn. We still should attack. Like, we shouldn't just not attack. Force him to use the Acerola so it's not available to him later. And this is just such a grindy mirror match. Lots of picking stuff up. Lots of recycling resources. He's gonna trade away a Sycamore. And we don't even have an N in the discard pile. Like, inning would be really good. But at least we know next turn he's likely to have a benched Zorua or Wimpod, so we can take a knockout on one of those. Not have to deal with the odd prizes, and also that we just get a prize. Because we know he has another Acerola in his hand. Man. So, we'll see what happens. Like, we could flying flip a couple times to try to set up knockouts, but we're only going to get one flying flip off and this is going to die, so that's not a good strategy. We have access to energy driving, which is good. So we could actually, oh man, I'm in the timer. I think we can computer search and find in and then take a knockout. Or a crossing cut. Which I don't like totally hate. We found another, yeah, there's another Zorua in the deck, so I'm okay getting rid of this guy for now. Oh, do we prize both of our ends? We prize both of our ends. So I should have Ultra Balled first, because now I can't Acerola. Ugh. Wow. So that is on me. Big mistakes. I don't want to trade any of this. Wow. Double end prize, so that's unfortunate. Now we can just go Guzma v. Stop. Lele. We like at least can get a knockout. Like we take 2 prizes. So I'm okay with that. There's an N, and there's a Zoroark. But now if he just finds, like, he's going to have access to Guzma in this massive hand, and take a 2 prize knockout himself, we can, in turn, double puzzle, find DCE. And Guzma his Wimpod to go back on even prizes, so we just need to take 1 more knockout. Let's see if he finds that Guzma. He may want to take out the Koko. He does need 1 more bench Pokemon to do that, though. He's going to trade away an N. And I don't know, he's got, I guess, 3 Zoroark set up, and he does get the evolution, so never mind, there goes our easy odd prize. But if he ever Acerolas, we'll be able to do it, so. Let's see if he's got the Guzma. Yep. Takes the knockout. And maybe we shouldn't end him. He's only got 4 cards left. He's down 2 via Seekers, 3 in. He plays 3 in. So, it forces him to end. But I guess he's fine inning, so we should just end. We got all of our puzzles left, 3 via Seekers left, 1 Acerola left. So let's trade once. Okay, so that's a lot of puzzles, but we'll go double puzzle. Golisopod. Actually, we could Evosoda to just get a pod out of the deck. I don't remember if it's in there, though, and I've already messed up once due to not knowing my prizes, so I'm not going to do that. And we'll get DCE for just later, I guess. I guess we should get, like, Acerola for later. And we'll go in. Yes, I'm well aware that will give me less cards, but I want to have less cards. Don't want to trade any of these. Stop. just go first impression. And we need him to, like, kind of whiff a little bit here. He's got 3 trades and 12 cards in deck, 5 cards in hand, so he's probably going to be able to find some sort of Acerola healing option. We know he's got at least one more in the deck because he puzzled one into his hand earlier. But yeah, such long, grindy games, and the timer, as you guys know, does not like me very much. But I think we do have more healing options left to us than our opponent does. So that's, like, good for us as well. But we'll see if he has a way to, yeah, he's got to find the Acerola, so a computer search will definitely do that for him. He could find something else, though. I don't know. We'll see. Gets rid of DCE and Zoroark. Acerola. Brings up his own pod again. But we get to go Acerola, hit him with Zoroark. Oh, he actually benches the Wimpod, so we might take this knockout. He's only down 1 Guzma though, so I think using Acerola is the safer play. Trade away Golisopod. Should have done all that first, but it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Oricorio can actually take a prize for us on a Golisopod or something, so we're going to keep him around. Or not a Golisopod, sorry, a Wimpod. Without having to play a Guzma, so we can actually Acerola and knock out something on the bench in the same turn. So if he does go Acerola here again, that's what we're going to do next turn. We're going to bench Oricorio, we're going to attach DCE, we're going to Acerola, and if he benches this Wimpod, we'll knock it out. He did. And that also breaks the Acerola chain. Is going to force him to... Yeah, okay, I like it. So we go boom. Via Seeker Acerola. Pick all that damage up. We'll bench Zorua. DCE to Oricorio. I can count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. We'll evolve the Golisopod. I don't want to trade anything still. I guess I can trade a Zorua. I don't want to trade at this point in the game, honestly. So we will go Supernatural Dance. 1. Where do we put the 1? I guess we put it on a Zoroark that doesn't have energy on it. Because that lets him pick up the DCE. We get Sudowoodo, not relevant at this point. Guzma, let's see what he hits. Zorua, okay. And we'll go Zoroark hit. If we Golisopod hit, we like have to dig for Acerola really next turn. So he's down 2 Guzmas, 3 VS Seekers, right? 3 VS Seekers, 2 Acerolas. So he's got to find himself an Acerola here. Down to 2 cards left in deck. Double. Oh, I thought he was out of puzzles. I guess I can't count. I saw a 4, I thought. I guess I saw a 4 on something else. I thought he was out of puzzles. My bad. I just like glanced real fast, thought I saw a 4, but double puzzle here will probably find him Acerolas. Acerola via Seeker. But we still have double puzzle left to us. We still have 2 via Seekers. We still have an Acerola. Acerola picks that up. Probably going to bring up Pod. Actually going to bring up Zoroark. And this is actually the turn we could whiff. He does have less Pokemon in play as well. So we'll trade Pseudo, Colress, and we have to end next turn. So we can get Zoroark here to guarantee the we guarantee the draw anyway, so it keeps one more card in the deck. Trade. So yeah, that's correct. And then via Seeker, Acerola. We know he has an Acerola. So do we go Pod hit or Zoro hit? I think we Zoro hit. I guess we should have kept the choice band to just keep more cards in the deck. But we know we have 2 puzzles left, or a puzzle and a Zoroark left. Yeah, that's... No. What are the last 2 cards? It's Puzzle via Seeker? Is that right? Yeah, Puzzle via Seeker, I guess. So he benches another Lele. He's going to Wonder Tag. He's got to get that last card out of the deck. Is it an N? He does have a via Seeker in his hand. Fails it. So he actually doesn't have to end this turn, but he does have to end next turn. We're going to see via Seeker end this turn, though. Getting close, guys. Getting close. So no Acerola, so that means we can Oricorio finish this guy off for our last 2 prizes. So I think we might just be able to win here. Maybe he's forgetting about Oricorio. Yeah, well played. Wow. Talk about a game, guys. Wow. Yep, because he just retreats Zoroark, hits us, but then we have Oricorio to hit it wherever. So that was a really good game to finish the video on. Wow, that was a 30-minute game, right? That is crazy. Summary. Does it tell you how long it was? Yeah, 30 minutes and 16 seconds. Wow. So thank you guys for sticking through that one with me. Ended up being really close. And wow, I dealt 1,170 damage. He dealt 1,060 damage. But our biggest attack's 180, 150. Pretty nuts. So ended up working out for us in the end, but super grindy game, and we just came out on top. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out some of my other expanded videos as we prepare for Dallas Regionals at the end of the month, and thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to do it for me. Until next time, guys, take care.